VK52, the Saturday morning meeting. Hey, you know what? I just got through doing my brand new truck program for the 2022 Tundra slash Land Cruiser truck for the Boston region. I did a Monday and a Thursday class, and I thought, you know, this is a really good time for me to lay down the Saturday morning meeting right now. So the topic of the day is training. And, you know, I've been doing this a long time. I've run stores, started out selling stores, worked in the service department. I've been with Toyota for over 30 years. And I find that people reject training. They don't want to go to a training class. They don't want to log on and take a test. They don't want to do a module. And I don't really understand that. Everybody gets to make their own decisions, but I don't understand that. You know, I've got a picture of youth soccer on here. I'll be honest with you. I grew up in the state of Texas a long time ago, and I don't even think they sold soccer balls at the local sports store. There was no soccer. It was basketball, baseball, and football. And so some of my kids played soccer. And it was amazing when we got them into that little pee-wee soccer. You know, you'd take the kids out there and they would run up and miss the ball. You have to get your mind around that the ball was sitting still and they kicked at the ball and completely missed the ball. And did that multiple times. And then finally the parents would squeal like, whoa, because they actually kicked it. It went straight sideways, but they made contact. You know, and I remember, you know, I played baseball. Some of you know I played baseball through college. And I kind of remember my early years of baseball. I was pretty competitive. I think I was good. But when my kids started, you know, I got them a baseball glove when they were born. I mean, you know, try to put it on their hand when they were still in the nursery, right? And I started throwing with them, and it was frustrating. I mean, how far back could I go? Because they couldn't throw the ball straight. It would go sideways. It'd fall out of their hands. And I'd pick up, good job, good job. It wasn't a good job. It was horrible. And you're thinking like, dude, just throw the ball to me. I'm right here. You can't see me. But over time, you know, you start working with your kid. They kind of enjoy it. You're having a good time. You're not putting no much pressure on them. And a couple of years later, your child is on the pitching mound in a game, and you walk up and you hear a suck. You suck. And that catcher's mask is smoking. That's your child. He couldn't even roll the ball to you a few years ago, and now they're out there dominating a baseball game. How many times did your child throw that ball? It's the same thing. They're throwing the ball exactly like they tried to throw it the first time they tried to throw it. Why are they so much better now? Is it that repetitive motion? Is it studying the game? Did they have a couple of coaches that gave them some examples? In soccer, that one kid that couldn't even kick the ball is now on the varsity soccer team. You go to a game, the kid is dominating the field, dribbling the ball down the field, boom, ball goes in the goal. And you're thinking like, I saw that kid play multiple years ago and the child couldn't even make contact on the ball. We're in a business that is so diversified because of technology. It's crazy. If you look at the vehicles sold today, or anything sold today that has any technology in it, move it back into the 70s. You know, look at cell phones. You know, they started out in a giant bag, and then you had this big brick, and then you had this big folder phone, and you know, did I lose you? You still there? Did I lose you? That's the whole conversation, because there wasn't any cell towers. And look at it now. I mean, I guess eventually they're going to put a microchip, you know, right by our eye and our ear, and then we'll just touch it and we'll talk. We won't have to have a phone. But the technology of vehicles that we sell is greatly increased. This new Tundra, and I call it the Land Cruiser truck because it's not like anything we've made before. The technology has just gone through the roof. How are you ever going to be able to display that much technology and that much energy and passion to somebody if you don't practice it every day? And I'm not kidding about this. I don't want to yell at you about it. I don't want to be the dad here. But if you don't spend a little bit of time either writing down or doing a walk around or videoing yourself do a walk around or researching online. Listen, everything that you might get from your manufacturer, you know, Toyota's got a launch for every car. You get to go to the launch and you get to go to 15 minutes, you know, segments, which is not teaching you the whole vehicle, but everything's online. If you want to find out about the fuel systems, you want to find out about the transmission, if you want to find out about the capabilities, it's all online. And there's multiple people out there that'll tell you exactly what they know. Some are engineers, some are just truck enthusiasts. I look at cars, I look at trucks. You know, how often should you train? I look at the biggest athletes on earth, the most famous athletes on earth. They make so much money. And people are all worried about how much money they make. What they make doesn't affect your income. Why would you care what somebody else makes if it doesn't affect your income? I love it that people make more money than me because that means that there's extra money out there that I might be able to achieve if I put myself in the right position. I'm not at the top of my game. I'm not the highest paid person on earth, so there's room to grow. But these athletes are, they drive to the football stadium in their Ferrari, in their Bentley, in their Maybach. They leave their multiple millions of dollars worth of perfectly built home in the most amazing places on earth to go to practice. Do they practice more than they play? Receivers run the same route over and over and over again. They study film of the defenders and how they defend and where their first step is so they might be able to get an advantage. They spend hours in a film room watching another player and watching their tendencies. People that play poker for a living make a living out of watching somebody's ticks, touching their ear, touching their nose, shifting their eyes, and they know. They don't know what cards they have, but they know what kind of cards they are, and now they know how to play the game. That's how they win. It's not that they're a better poker player because it's a random game. You get what you get. You have to understand what's going on around you, and they practice that. They study the art of poker. They study the art of football. They study the art of baseball. I'm asking all of you right now, this should be the biggest revenue year you've ever had, ever. The demand for vehicles, new and used, have never been higher. The supply of vehicles to those that are demanding have never been lower. The value of the used cars have jumped over 40%. New cars are already sold. If you're with a high-end manufacturer and a high-turn manufacturer, a manufacturer that people want to drive their product, the vehicle's already sold before it's made. I look at Kia and Hyundai and how much they've grown over the last few years. So if you're looking at the Telluride right now, they're getting $7,000 to $8,000 over sticker price for that vehicle. So it's right there for you. So in the time when you have the biggest opportunity for gain, how much more should you train on a daily basis? What are the skills? Everybody's digital now. You've got Carvana, you've got Vroom, and there's several other people that are coming out there. They'll deliver the car to your house. They'll give you all the information via data, via the internet, whatever you want, and they'll deliver the car. People are buying cars and paying for them before they ever see the actual vehicle. And we're talking pre-owned vehicles. We're not talking brand new vehicles. I can get it on a brand new vehicle. It's brand new. It's got a warranty. It's all good to go. Carvana will bring you a very high mileage vehicle and dump it right in your driveway. Now you can give it back if you want, but they don't have to go in the dealership to do it, and they figured out a way to be able to make money doing that. There's a lot of things changing in the business and everything. You have to figure out where the customer is and where you're training. Train in the direction that the buyer is going, but train every single day. Dedicate time every day for basic repetitive training. Training puts you at the top of the game. At the top of the game in 2022 puts you at the top of the earnings cycle. There should be some giant money made, and the customers will appreciate your efficiency. So, that being said, thank you for attending PK52, the Saturday Morning Meeting.